If you want to follow along, we're just going to jump right into this. Go ahead and oil your crock pot or use your bag, whatever you prefer. And then you're going to place 2 to 3 chicken breasts in the crock pot. I have 2 chicken breasts and a chicken tender that I needed to utilize. Add 1 can cream of chicken and 1 can cream of mushroom. We are going to add some milk. I'm using 2%, and don't dirty up any dishes. Just use that can, and we're going to add 2 cans of milk. Now we'll need chicken broth, and we're going to add 1 can of chicken broth. If you don't have chicken broth, you can always use water. I use brown rice, and I wash this brown rice just like you would pinto beans, and you're going to let that brown rice soak. I like to let mine soak for a couple of hours before I do this recipe. You can use white rice as well, but I wouldn't add that until maybe halfway through the recipe because it doesn't take as long to cook. The brown rice is a lot healthier. It has a lot of fiber in it, but if you use brown rice, make sure you soak it first. This will soften those husks that are on the brown rice, and it doesn't take as long to cook when you do that. I'm using 2 cups of uncooked brown rice. Add half of a yellow onion. I'm using a Vidalia onion. Go ahead and dice that and add it to the pot. Add 1 heaping teaspoon of minced garlic. Let's give this a stir. Let's add some salt and pepper to taste. You're not really going to need a lot of salt and pepper. You just do you, but I like lots and lots of pepper in this recipe. So much, in fact, that I'm even using cracked pepper. This is a very inexpensive recipe to feed your family, a large family. I used to feed my kids this. And if you don't have a large family, you can always cut this recipe back. I used 2 cups of uncooked rice, so you could cut that down to 1 cup of uncooked rice. And you could use half the liquid that I added. I've done that before as well. It just depends on how many people you're feeding. I put this on high and I let this cook for 4 hours, and then I cut it on low and kept an eye on it. I ended up cooking this for about 5 hours. You really have to watch that rice towards the end. One other note, you may have to add more liquid to this, so keep an eye on that rice. And you don't want it to turn to mush either if you have too much liquid. But voila, 4.5 hours to 5 hours later, you have a really nice, yummy meal. This has always been a favorite in my house.